Hello and welcome to the Powerboost meditation. Today, let us experiment with the theme Don't think, just remember. Don't think, just remember. The human mind is trained to think about any and everything. And this training of constantly thinking, sometimes overthinking, also shifts to when we sit to meditate. When we meditate, we often think about peace, we think about the soul. Quite often, the experience that the soul carries, the experience of peace, the experience of silence, is far off when we are just thinking about it. Meditation is much more than thinking. Meditation is when I begin to remember, just like when we were young, we remember how we were, which school we went to, what our friends were, what our family was. All those memories come to our mind naturally. In the same way, all the memories, the ancient memories of the soul, where we souls used to live in our home of light, our journey down to this planet, uh, it's all there, recorded within the soul. The soul carries all those memories. The memory of the relationship with the divine is also there within the soul. And so in meditation, it's about being in silence and then remembering this truth. I'm not just thinking about it, but I'm remembering it. And when I begin to remember, meditation becomes very natural. It doesn't feel forced. And also, it carries the experience behind it. And when I say the word soul in my mind, I begin to experience my truth, the truth of the soul. Thoughts, mind is always preceded or is influenced or is directed by the intellect. When the intellect is in body consciousness, in role consciousness, I can think about the soul, I can think about my truth, but it won't feel real. It will just feel some words. But when the intellect is in soul consciousness, when the intellect has understood the truth, the intellect has recognized the truth, recognized the soul, the invisible being of light, recognized the eternal dimension of light, recognized that whatever is visible to these physical eyes is just a part of this beautiful play of life. And I'm just engaged in it, I'm acting in it. When the intellect recognizes this truth, then the mind starts to remember. They start to remember as if a layer has been uncovered. You can also think of it like patients with dementia, and their family members will try to make them realize or remember their past. They'll make them realize this is who you were, this is who you are. And when the patients get back their memory, their face changes. It's like their whole life changes. In the same way, in role consciousness over the past several lifetimes, we have become patients of dementia. We've forgotten our reality. We've forgotten who we are, who we were without this cloak of the body. And the more I remember, I go inside in silence. I switch off everything else. I go inside in silence. I remember. I remember. And just this act of remembering allows me to be myself. And then meditation feels very natural. There's no force. I'm not struggling anymore. And these memories emerge naturally. So it's not the role that is trying to meditate, but it's the soul, the eternal being on a journey through time, now playing part in this costume, who is trying to realize its truth. That's the difference between thinking and remembering. In thinking, the intellect is still based in the role. And then the role is trying to be soul conscious, which is a difficult practice. But in remembering, the soul on an internal journey through time is just becoming aware, is getting awakened. And all those deep, ancient memories of the soul start to come to surface. And so let us experiment and spend a few moments as we realize our truth. We are not roles that are trying to be soul conscious, but we are souls, beings of light, who have come into the role world, physical world. We are actors. We have played many parts. This is just one of the many parts that we are enacting. I become aware. I realize. I remember. For a few moments, let me switch off the thinking world. I switch off the external drama world, as if it does not exist for these few moments. As I begin to remember my truth beyond the body, beyond the bodily world. I remember I am this beautiful being of light, eternal. I remember that I live in my home of light, the world beyond sound, the world beyond actions, the world beyond reactions, the world of truth, the world of light, the world of silence. This is where I belong. I used to live here eternally. I begin to remember my eternal family of souls without their masks, without their roles, just tiny beings of light, completely innocent, pure, wise beings of light. I remember my relationship with my eternal companion, the divine. I remember this deep inner belonging, this deep feeling of comfort in the presence of the divine. I remember the love the divine has for me. And as I remember, I begin to feel coming back to life, coming back to experiencing my truth. External world and all the memories of that external world fade away. And I've come into the light. This is who I am. I've come back to be myself. It is natural for me to be myself. I don't need to be somebody else that I'm not. As I remember, I experience the truth. The deep feelings of unconditional love towards all souls. There is respect for all souls in the world. We are all eternal beings of light who had forgotten the truth. And now we've awakened ourselves again. And as I gently return back to the world of drama, the world of body, I realize that there's nothing that I need to do, no need to think, just remember my truth. Om Shanti. Thank you.